Hi, Capricorn. It is coming into September now, a season that I think is full of reflection, integration, and clarity. Especially this year, there's a really deep honesty and connectivity to the month of September. And in fact, I've been taking the last several months off of doing these kind of more traditional readings as I've explored who I'm becoming and who I want to be in my work, in my life. And I got really called to sit down and just have these really quiet, reflective conversations with you this month. And that's been feeling really, really true and deep for whatever reason I'm needing to be here. And with that in mind, let's talk about this month and what's coming up for you. This is going to be Virgo season up until the equinox on the 22nd. So we have the Sun and Venus moving through Virgo, your fellow Earth sign. This is beautiful for your big visions, the philosophies you take with you through your life, and what philosophies you really want to bring with you as tools. So a great time to think about how you kind of visualize the macro lens of the meaning of all of this. And of course, we have a full moon in Pisces, which is so beautiful for new ideas and new ways of expressing and communicating. Now, a lot of people are going to be talking about the Mercury retrograde, which will start off in Libra. It begins on September 9th, and it will move back through Libra and then join Virgo a little later in the month. And that Mercury retrograde, for me, it helps us integrate and understand ourselves. For you all, this is going to be about the impact you make in the world, who you are in the world, and really reflecting on what role that plays in your life. And that actually brings me to, and by the end of the month as well, I want to say, we have a new moon in Libra, the Sun in Libra, Venus in Libra, all in your 10th house, that who you are in the world. And that brings me to what came to mind when I sat down with your energy today, felt through it. We are so trained, actually, I think, in this world to think about how we are consumed. It's like we have to be consumed in our workplaces, in how we present ourselves out to the external world. Maybe not so much in our family dynamics, perhaps, or our home dynamics, but in the way that we are expected to show up in the world, there is this kind of sense of, are you being consumed? And are you being consumed in a way that makes you valid? And I think about how painful this lens is. And it's so subtle. It's so everywhere. It's insidious. That we feel that we have to put on that performance to be consumed. And I think sometimes we can start to feel like that's what makes us okay or acceptable. Whatever other longings or desires or fears or judgments or haunted houses we have inside of us, as long as our representative, our external self is being consumed in a way that feels like we're safe, it's okay. We're appropriate. We're okay. We're allowed to exist. I think this Virgo and Libra season, as we work with the Mercury retrograde, as we work with planets moving through, I think, a very personal and tender part of the year for you, Capricorn, this is a wonderful time to think about what, and a card wanted to fall, actually 2 cards wanted to fall. 3 of Cups, 4 of Pentacles, a good combo. But to think about what would happen if you didn't have to worry about how you were consumed. It didn't have to be about stoking this engine to just keep you moving forward so that there's always something to be consumed from you. What does life look like then? 3 of Pentacles. A lot of 3s and 4s, which are important, creative individuation numbers. Also rounding out numbers, so it's really interesting. But that's going to be a theme that comes up, I think, a lot. And just something to think about. So we have 3 of Cups, 4 of Pentacles, 3 of Pentacles. This is such an interesting lineup because on the two ends, we have Three of Cups and Three of Pentacles. These threes are about communion. They're about how we work together with others, how visions can actually expand and become deeper and brighter and more enriching than ever when we do it with others, when we let others see our ideas, when we let others help us, and how much that can open our energy field. And I think that's really interesting, right? Because my message before was about being consumed by others in the workplace and in what we do in the world, and feeling kind of like it needs to be done appropriately. I think the Three of Cups and the Three of Pentacles requires a certain level of vulnerability, right? We have to show like our truest selves, because only when we do that in kind of collaborative workspaces, especially creatively, intuitively, in ways that really feel true to us, it's like we can only have a really great experience if we're bringing like just who we are and where we are in the process, right? Otherwise, it always kind of feels a little stagnated, a little stuck, maybe a little frustrating. So there's an invitation here right away to remember that however much it might seem like the representative is the most important part of you showing up to any table that you may long to be in, what you're really being asked to do is show up just as yourself. With all your fears, all your awkwardnesses, all the things that you think you have to suppress because it makes you problematic are the very things that are unlocking connection for you. Now, the Four of Pentacles is that resistance. And I always say this is a really important card. It's one that I think we resist a lot if we see it, because we think, oh no, this is like my worthiness. This is me not feeling like I'm allowed. This is me being scared. This means money is a bad thing. For me, this Four of Pentacles is a very important integration moment, and maybe this is something you'll be seeing here this September. It allows for us to sit with a part of ourselves that does feel unworthy, that does feel scared, that doesn't really feel comfortable with the unknown, to be heard, to be loved, to be integrated, to be understood. So that when we move forward, we're doing it in a sustainable way that isn't just kind of crushing this sensitive, worried part of ourselves under the wheels of this machine where we feel like we have to keep moving forward. It also, for me, the Four of Pentacles is a part of ourselves that deserves love. I think so often, when you see this card, it's like, oh God, I don't even want to have to deal with this. This person is sitting here, holding on so tightly to everything they have. So afraid that if he lets go, the world is going to crumble. Just think about this part of yourself and how much it is longing for love and an invitation to these conversations, to these communions. I think that's so powerful. It's really the key, I think, to some of the most important things we'll ever do in our lives, is inviting that Four of Pentacles self to the table and bringing our whole selves to things without feeling like we need to be fit for consumption. And I think this is a really powerful, potent month just to think about who you want to be in the world, Cappies, and how much pressure you put on yourselves, and if you want to keep putting that pressure on certain parts of yourself and on certain versions of yourself, and if you'd like to rearrange those pieces. I think it's going to be really beautiful for that. If you want to hang out with me more, I would love to see you over on my Patreon. I'm there every week sharing teachings for the week, getting us set up, getting us connected, feeling through the energies. I'd love to see you there. And of course on my Patreon, or on my Instagram, I just said Patreon. On my Instagram, if you're looking to hang out with me there, I'll leave the handle as well as my email. And I would love it if you stuck around. So I hope to see you here for another chat in the very near future, my beautiful friends. Have a beautiful September.